Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the Coffee Run Live. It is Thursday morning and I'm having some tripod issues, so yay! All right, here's what we're talking about today. I get asked all the time about how to increase engagement, how to increase our comments, our likes, the shares, and everything like that. Now, here's the thing. Hands up the number of times that you guys have seen a post, you've looked at it, you've read it, but you have not actually commented, clicked like, or share. Loads of times, right? I do it all the time. I'm looking through my feed and I don't always actually visibly interact with the post that's going on. Good morning, Ainsley. Hey, Catherine. Hey, Judith. Happy Thursday. So I think it's really interesting that there is a whole industry essentially built around get more fans, get more likes, get more clicks, comments, shares. And I mean, a whole, if you have a look at a gentleman who has got a lot of passion for what he does, Gary Vaynerchuk. To me though, he's all about, spending every minute of every day, of every available hour, posting, commenting, sharing, engaging, collaborating, sending out messages. And to me, it's just, it's really exhausting. So if we have a look at something I prepared earlier, we've got most of us are feeling pretty invisible online, right? This is where you might have a page and maybe you don't have a ton of fans, or maybe you do have a ton of fans on your page, but maybe they're not visibly connecting, clicking like, clicking share, writing comments, anything like that, right? They might not even be doing the little love hearts and the thumbs up and all of that goes on when you're doing your live videos. And I understand and I completely agree and appreciate that can feel a little disheartening, right? Because the thing is that we are looking for external validation, we're looking for interaction, when really most people, myself included, don't actually comment on the posts or even click like on the posts that I'm looking at or of the people that I'm following. So what we've got to have a look at is that if we're going to go from invisible, and really the goal here is to get people committing. Sorry, having trouble with the mirroring. We want to get people committing up over here. So we can either get them going from here to activating them and getting them to commit, or we can focus on being invisible and then getting people to engage, which is what I've been talking about, visibly engaging, and then getting them to commit. It's not until we get them over here that they actually hand money over, right? The other thing with this is that if you're going from here to here, and then we're over here, this is commonly known as building platform. This is commonly known as building positioning. This is all about just get yourself out there, get out there on Facebook, LinkedIn, YouTube, Instagram, Snapchat, Musical.ly, Vero, get on Google Home, have a few podcasts, get guest interviews, not to mention going to networking events, getting speaking engagements, going and putting up a course on Udemy, like far out. This is a little bit like the old, not the old, it's still happening, but the brand awareness. We talked about brand awareness yesterday. So this is about going from being invisible to trying to build engagement, which is really freaking hard work, by the way, in order to get people to commit. What engagement, I think it's important that we talk about this as well, because there are a couple of ways of looking at engagement. Engagement can be, yes, Ainsley, and after all that, write your book. Yes, and buy 1,000 copies so you can declare it a bestseller. Don't get me started on that one. So engagement can be like Kelly said good morning and put an emoji, Ainsley's commenting. That's visible engagement, right? It's really lovely for your ego. Don't get me wrong, like I love you guys commenting, I love the thumbs up, I love the love hearts, I love the laughing, like I don't really like the sad faces or the angry faces, but I love that visible engagement. That's the stuff that goes, makes me, it's like that instant endorphin hit. Oh yeah, that's really cool. What I'm saying is relevant for you. But that doesn't mean that anything is going to happen, because most people engage inside their heads versus via a keyboard, or versus like the tap, 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 like Kelly's doing. Yay, thanks for the thumbs up and the hearts. You know, it's that is not necessarily the true measure of what's going on. So what I would encourage you to think about is, let's focus on moving from invisible and getting people to activate. We still can build engagement at the same time, but we assume that they are engaging in their heads anyway. It's a little bit like when you meet someone new, right? We want to assume rapport, not try really freaking hard to drive it and look for all of the signals all the time and, you know, match and mirror and, you know, all of that kind of thing. We would like it to happen a little bit more organically. We would like it to happen a little bit more naturally. So I want you to, when you're putting out your posts and when you're doing your lives and things like that, even if you're not seeing the visible engagement, it doesn't mean that what you are saying is not hitting the mark. It does not mean that what you are saying is not relevant, and it doesn't mean that what you are saying isn't being engaged upon in someone's head. Okay? So you could go from invisible and do a lot of posts and go and do all of that stuff. If you're limited on resources, then being across every platform, if you've got the time and not the money, right? So if you've got time is a really big resource, then go and do all of that brand awareness stuff. Go for it. The thing that you need to be aware of in order to get them moving from engagement, from engagement over to commitment, can be a really long and slow process. Okay, that's just the way that it is. So instead, what I'd look at is going, all right, how can we activate them? So what activating means is that these are your call to action things. This is you're going to get people to do something. So you'll remember maybe I started doing these episodes daily in about May. It was earlier than that, maybe about March, I think, this year. And one of the things that, one of the people that was watching was a lady called Tamara. She's usually jumps in here. Tamara, shout out to you. And she was turning up on every live, but she wasn't always interacting. And then I learned that she'd been following me since last year and I hadn't seen her name. She wasn't at all familiar to me. And then she said, she noticed that we were putting on an event in October. And she was like, it's August next year. Put on an event and she's like, I have to be there. So she did something. She took action. Some of you guys have bought the content map. Some of you have purchased my book. Some of you I know have gone over to my website and downloaded one of the many free things that are on there, or if you looked at the blogs, or you've gone over to YouTube and had a freaking Nicola marathon. Bless your hearts. Which I really love. But what it means is that you've actually got them doing something with what it is that's going on versus just trying to build engagement. Because if they don't see your face regularly, if they don't have their notifications turned on for you, then quickly that engagement that they've got with you can kind of plummet through the floor, and you've got to try to constantly re-engage, refine them and all of that kind of thing. So activating them ideally is going to be about getting them onto your database, your email database, so that you can build that relationship, right, and rapport with them, and then eventually some of them will commit. So this is them getting into your marketing funnel, right, rather than just being about all of this, about getting out there and things like that. If you look at what people do when they go and put a stand in the middle of a shopping mall, like we'll use that Secret, whatever it's called, that under the sea dead fish that's apparently really good for your skin. You know, you go in there and you know that you see them all the time, they try and shove stuff in your hand. It's really freaking annoying. So most people don't engage with that when it's constantly being shoved down their throat. But they do try and do the free samples, which what they're trying to do is they're trying to get the people activated in order to get the money. They're not just going out and only building engagement. Yeah. So the thing that I want you to think about today is, are you going to go from here? What are you going to focus on? And are you going to go from here over to activating them and getting them up to commitment? Or are you going to focus on the engagement piece? Now, like I said, this one here is going to take a lot longer. It's a lot slower. It requires a lot more energy from you, but it's really good if you're limited on the financial resources to be able to get out there, because you can leverage all of the free platforms for this, all of them. And then you just got to have a way of still getting them to commit. Otherwise, they don't know how to give you money. Cool. Awesome. So what I would encourage you to do is to work out what your strategy is. Now, even if you're going from invisible to activate to commit, you still need to have a way of putting your stuff out there, right? I'm not saying that you don't need to do that, because we still need to have a way for people to engage in their heads with you through your posts, through your lives, through your blogs, through your LinkedIn or Instagram or wherever it is that they are. But the other side of that is we still need to get them to do something. So add value, add value, add value, ask people to do something. All right, Kelly, let's see if I can see the comment. I don't know why it does this. Oh, man. All right. I can see it says, focusing on engagement because I've got time and limited money, but what's a good strategy to activate? So you will have heard me talk on some, not all of them, on some of these lives about the early bird specials that we've got for Visible Live happening in 2019. So that's one way of activating. Another thing that I've talked about in here is, hey guys, I've put together a free downloadable content map and training to help you get your content out there. If you guys give me your email address, that's a way of activating. If you ask people to message you for something, then that's a way of activating. If you offer them a free session maybe with you, you know, if they are like knowing what you do, if people are like stuck in this roundabout of not knowing what to do in terms of diet and lifestyle and eating and exercise and everything like that, then you could offer a free call on how to bust through the diet myths and change to a way of eating versus a short-term diet plan, you know, stuff like that. So think about the different things that you can do in order to get people to take action. So that taking action, that first step, is usually give them something for free in exchange for their information so that you can continue building relationships with them so that you can then get them to commit. And commitment is usually money. Now, that could be an ebook. It could be a paid strategy session. It could be coming to an event. It could be a course. It could be the activation might be around getting them onto a webinar. It might be doing getting people into a closed Facebook group. And then you've got to have a look at what it is that you're going to sell them on from there. So that's what we are doing today. All right. Callie, I'll start promoting that more and talking about them. Yeah, right there and didn't see. Yeah, exactly. So get them to do something, work out what that is, add value, add value, add value, add value, ask people to do something. Add value, add value, add value, add value, add value, ask people to do something. Otherwise, you end up, your inboxes are probably exploding at the moment with a whole bunch of Black Friday bullshit, fake scarcity crap. Promoting stuff that you probably don't need, to spend money that you don't really have on shit that you don't probably really even want. So that to me is like, if someone is always selling to you and they're just trying to shove stuff down your throat all the time, that's the opposite of building relationships. That's just kind of force feeding, right? When you're not even freaking hungry. So have a think about how you're going to do it. Remember to add value before you ask people to do something. All right. And that's usually about solving a problem. So solve a problem for them, help them achieve a goal, and give them something for free that will help them to do that. All right. I'm going to love you and leave you guys. Tomorrow we have got Celebration Friday. Yay! So come on board tomorrow morning. We are going to be going a little bit earlier. I'm getting my hair done. So we're going to go live a smidge early. Let me know what you're celebrating. Let me know what's really going on that is awesome in your world. I would love to also hear, it's a little bit like a circle of love that we do at the end of Roller Derby. I would love to hear something that you feel like you have done really freaking well this week, whatever that might be. And I'd also love to hear something that you have noticed someone else do that has been really awesome for you this week. All right? Let's share the love, build that in, and have a really rocking end to the week. Go out there, get visible, guys. Go and help some people and have a whole ton of fun doing it. I'll talk to you tomorrow. Bye.